Hi, Kathy here from KathysKuteKreations. Today we're going to make the little Bow Wow meow mugs, the little puppy and kitty cat. And what I've done is something a little bit different. I did not want to do it this way, so I did actually applique. That's what I'm going to do today. So I went ahead and I cut out, and I used my pinking shears here to cut it out. Now you don't have to do that. You can use your regular scissors. I took this fabric, laid it upside down, put the cat on it, the head, traced around it with my pencil. I just used a regular pencil. You can use a number 2 pencil, whatever. Then I cut it out. I made 2 squares, one for the puppy and one for the cat. Then I took these aside, and I'm using fusible. So that's what this is right here. So I took the side that doesn't have the sticky on it. Here's the side with the sticky. It's got a bit of a sheen. You can see it right there. Took this side, laid my puppy face on it, and then I trimmed around it with my pencil. Just trimmed around it. Now I'm going to cut on the inside line so that it will lay on my fabric. So I'll have my fabric upside down, and I'll take the fabric and put it on there, the sticky side, so that it makes this stiff so that it will stick on my fabric. And then we'll go ahead and we'll sew it. I took this here, I've ironed it on, and it's only single-sided, it's not double, and I put little dots of glue on it so that it will adhere to my square. I don't put it on the edge. You're going to hear the girl making noises again. I have the baby in the box. And what I'm going to do is I'm going to just put a straight stitch, and I'm not going to make it very long or anything. It's just going to be your normal 2.5 inch. Don't mind the pup. She's 4 weeks. I haven't showed her in the video yet, but she is complaining because she's in a box because, you know, 4 weeks, they can't be loose. So let's see what we can do here. I'm just going to go around it because I just want it to stay put. Doesn't need to be anything fancy. If you would like to zigzag it, you could zigzag it. And go ahead, if you're following along and you've done this so far, go ahead and continue, and I'll be back when I'm finished. And I've got my machine set up with the correct foot. And we're just going to start in the middle here, and I'm going to come straight down. Now, you have to bring your bottom thread up when you do this, or else you will get a bird's nest, which is a mess underneath your sewing machine. Now, since I'm going to go ahead and I'm going to use my pinking shears around the edges, because I don't want to put a binding around it. At least right now, I don't want to. Now, I can in the future by just doing the quilting like I'm going to do and cutting it with my pinking shears. You can always go back if you do it that way. So the first thing I do is take my thread, hold on to it. I'm going to put it down. Put my foot down, then I'm going to put my, you won't be able to see this, I don't think. I hold my thread, I'll just hold it over here. I put my foot down, bring it back up, pull up on this piece of thread, which is the top thread, and my bottom came up right there. Now you don't want to just trust that the bottom's going to stay up. So I take my, can't think of what these are called, grippers. Okay, and then I put them both underneath the foot. So both threads underneath the foot. I hold them with my left hand because I'm right-handed. Then what I'll do is I put my foot needle down, but I'm going to hold on to the thread because what I want to do is I want to create a knot underneath. So what I'll do, now this is free motion, so I can control where my fabric goes underneath the needle. It's not going to move, it just goes up and down. So I will take it and go like this. So that's creating a knot. Then I can let go of my threads, And I'm just going to go ahead and, as you probably saw here, I have some little kitty pins I'm holding the corners with. So I'm just going to go and just slowly move it along. If you're doing this, remember that you need to change your tension. Now my tension on my sewing machine is 6.6 to do this. Normally it's 4.0. But since I'm doing it, and this is, you got to think of this as two thicknesses plus a batting, because it's got your top fabric, your bottom fabric, and then your batting on the inside. And I tried to get a very low loft batting. And I want to get as close as I can to the head on this cat. As a matter of fact, I think I'm going to go around this cat to hold it down. It just reinforces it. It's not going to hurt it at all. But I'm not going to quilt inside this head, and the reason being is that whatever I sit, coffee cup, cookie, whatever, it'll lay flat and it won't fall off, and it won't have a tendency to tip over. Now, I didn't do this on the puppy dog, but I'm doing it on this kitty cat head. And I'm just moving along myself, just catching it, that's all I'm doing. I feel like I'm going to have to clean my machine out. And you don't have to do this if you don't want to do it. I'm doing it just for myself. And I'll show you how the dog one came out without the sewing this down, so that you can decide. It doesn't need to be perfect because it's already held down with the other thread. Okay, so I'm just going to start right off of here. And you can make this meandering, which is what I'm calling it, as big or as small as you want. I'm going to try to keep it inside and not go up to the edge, since that's what I'm going to be cutting. And then I'll take my pins off as I come up to them. Otherwise, I'll hold on to it. And when I get to the corner, I will use my gripper again to hold the corner, so it doesn't fold in on me. And if you are one of those people that like to starch, that's fine too. You can starch this real heavy. I, on the other hand, don't want to starch it. Okay, now, there we go. So just hold on to it like this. To it. And what I do is I look underneath to make sure I grab the yellow, which is that back piece. I don't like to stop it in the middle of the fabric or anything. This way you don't see it in the seam when you put it outside. That's it, it's done. I'll take it off. Then I'm going to go ahead and I'm going to cut around the edges of it, and then I'll be back and show it to you. Here's the cat that we just finished. Here's the dog, and you can, I don't know, it's got a little bit of lift in it. As you can see, like a little bit of a ripple from not having it down, where this one doesn't have that. Let's go to here's the back of that one, and here's the back of this one. Okay. Alrighty, that's it for this video. If you liked it, give it a thumbs up. Subscribe if you haven't yet. And you can actually put some whiskers on the dog and the cat if you wanted to. I know that's just an afterthought. But anyway, so I will see you in my next visible. And those, what did I say? My next video. And those that stay tuned, I will go downstairs and I will get a little bit of a video of Maisie, which is the new puppy. She is half Shih Tzu and half Beagle. Now, she's got the Beagle face, she's got the Shih Tzu coloring, and she's got the howl of a Beagle. So I will show her in a minute. Thanks for watching, everybody. I appreciate it. Bye-bye. There's Maisie. And she's 8 weeks, and I kept saying she was 4 weeks in the video, and I have no idea why I was saying that. Now she's behind the furniture, and she's chasing Bandit. You can kind of tell. Where'd She kind of looks like she's all into fun and playing. She got really pretty markings on her, the way her face is split up there. But that's my granddaughter's dog. And she's still getting used to that collar, so she's constantly itching. She's a bit skittish yet, but that's her.